that's not possible. Tell me, can you ever restore?
I'm headed home. It is Friday. It's actually not even 11. Yep, it's 11:03. I just left Children's Hospital. My grandson has been admitted into the hospital. He was there last night. My son stayed overnight with him. Called off of work today so he could stay with him until they discharged him. They're probably going to discharge my grandson this afternoon. He's fine. He had a fever and it caused some concern. It wasn't even really high, but they wanted to admit him for precautionary reasons. He's 9 months, so he's really, really young. So whenever he gets a bad cold or a fever, they will admit him. And the reason they do this is because my grandson has sickle cell. Yeah. So he has sickle cell. I'm a carrier of the trait, and I passed the trait on to my boys. For some reason, my daughter didn't get it. And when my son hooked up with my grandson's mother, evidently she's a carrier. Well, not evidently. She is a carrier, so my grandson has sickle cell. But he has the SC version of it, which is considered the less severe version. When my grandson was born, they informed us of how to identify a crisis in an infant, because of course he wouldn't be able to say what was going on. So they showed us how to identify a crisis, and whenever he has a fever or a really bad cold, they admit him for precautionary measures because they say these things could throw him into a crisis, and they just want to make sure that he doesn't go into a crisis, which he hasn't in 9 months. Now, when my grandson was born, God showed me, I had a dream, and God showed me healing hands. It was 2 hands that I saw, and they had like gold outlining the hand and the fingers. And I remember the dream, and I heard healing in the dream. And I didn't understand why he showed me the healing hands, but then right after I had the dream of the healing hands, we found out my grandson had sickle cell. They called us and informed us he had sickle cell. Yeah, my son is really in tune with that baby. And it's a good thing he is. It's a really good thing he is. Let me just say this. And I don't want to say too much, but let me just say this. Every child deserves a great parent, but not every parent deserves a child. My son stayed at that hospital last night by himself with his baby. So it is what it is. You know, children are not pawns in a game for any reason. For gain, for fame, for financial. I mean, I don't understand people who use their kids or get pregnant in pursuit of some type of personal gain. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I won't understand it. I don't get it. Anyway, I'm on my way home because I need to do my hair. It looks like it's gonna rain. I need to clean up my house. Y'all, my grandbaby is an amazing little boy. He's an amazing little boy. He is a breath of fresh air, and I love seeing him and my son together, how in tune they are. There you go. I had put him to sleep when we was at the hospital because he was fighting sleep. He wanted to play, and then he started getting cranky. And I was like, oh, okay, you in sleep fighting right now. Let me show you gonna win. So I put him to sleep, and my son came in the room because he had stepped out. And I told my son, I said, please don't speak. Now, when we put my grandson to sleep, we don't make sure everything is quiet, because I feel like when you raise children like that, then you got to tiptoe around the house and make sure everything is quiet around the house so you won't wake the baby up. So it kind of limits your movements and what you're going to do throughout your day. For 20 or 30 minutes of your day or hour of your day, you got to figure out how to tiptoe around the house or clean up quietly. No, I vacuum, I wash dishes, I do everything while my grandson is asleep. And I did the same thing with my children. So anyway, the only thing is, when my grandson hears my son's voice, it's like, where he at? I hear him. So when he came in the room, the TV was playing, but I told my son, I said, please don't speak. Just don't speak. And he was like, well, what's wrong? And my grandson opened his eyes, but he was so tired, he just looked around and then went back to sleep. This is my other son. Come on, car. So yeah, that's what my Friday is like. I wanted y'all to be aware of why, if I did a vlog with him in the hospital, is he has a precondition. He has a precondition that he's gonna be fine. God already told me. God already told me he's going to be fine. Y'all, let me tell y'all about this other thing, and then I'm just gonna run in the house and do my hair. Shane travels a lot. So I remember one morning, God came to me. He said, humble yourself, I stand before you. And when he speaks to me, that's the message I get. Humble yourself, I stand before you. And I got down on my knees, and I just tried to silence myself. And he said, when Shane gets here, I'm going to heal him. And I said, what? What? He said, when he gets here, I'm going to heal him. And I said, Shane. I called him and I said, Shane, God said when you get here, he's going to heal you. I said, I don't know what that means. He said, I don't know. So when Shane came here, this was 3 years ago. I never uploaded this video, but I'm going to show you guys because I still have it. Shane said, I don't know what that means. I said, I don't either. So Shane got here. And he was working on a project in, Valley. What is it, Valley? Valley. It was out in the Inland Empire area. He was working on a project out there. Moreno Valley. He was out Moreno Valley. And he kept having these stomach pains. So he came home to San Diego, and he kept having these stomach pains, and he was taking these real strong pain pills. And he said, they keep saying I got some kind of stomach virus or stomach infection. I said, stop taking the pain pills and see how you feel. So he stopped taking the pain pills, and he was like, I can't bear the pain. I said, you're going to the hospital right now. So I took him to the hospital. We got back. I went out. This is how fast it was. I went out to get a drink or something. I came back. And he was in the room, and he was kind of upset. And I said, well, what happened? Of course, we went through the triage where they do, the questions and taking the temperature and the blood pressure and all that stuff. He got back to a room. Once he was back in the room, I went out to get a drink. I came back in, and he was agitated. And I said, what is wrong? So as soon as I asked him what was wrong, the nurse came in and said, okay, we got you prepped. We called the specialist, and I was like, what is going on? They took Shane into surgery that night, into emergency surgery. And I was like, oh my God. So what happened was, he had appendicitis. The doctor came in and said, okay, it's going to be our surgery. It's really routine. We're going to take his appendix out, and, he'll heal in a matter of 6 weeks. So I'm like, okay. So I go into the waiting area. And this is at midnight, guys. We went in at 10 that night because he couldn't take the pain no more. By midnight, he was in surgery. So I'm sitting, I'm like, okay, 1 o'clock, they should come out and tell me something. 1 o'clock passed, 1:30 passed. I was like, oh my God, something went wrong. So I'm thinking, what is happening? What is going on? Nobody's telling me anything. So I called up to the OR, and they were like, oh, he's still in surgery. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? Something went wrong. So then about 3 o'clock that morning, then the doctor comes out and sees me. He says, it was a little complicated than we thought. His appendix had erupted. We didn't understand why he was still alive. What happened was his appendix burst, and the doctor said it burst like a couple of days ago, but he had this mass around it that kept all the toxins in one place. And so they had to cut through the mass, clear that out, clear all the toxins out, get to his appendix, get that out. So it took 2.5 hours. But for a surgery, they should have took an hour. When God said he is the healer of all healers, y'all don't even understand. When God said he is the healer of all healers. He's asleep. He will answer your prayers. And let me tell you something. If you pray for something and you do not receive it, that's because God sees before you know. And that's the truth. He sees before you know. I wanted to come to California years before I got here. But there were some things that I wasn't letting go of. The God said, yep, that's not going to do you any good on your journey. You got to let that go. And until you let that go, you're not going. Soon as I let stuff go, the road was clear. And I cannot do this down here with the person I used to be and the person I can be if I'm not obedient. People kill me saying, oh, God this and God this, while they playing with the devil. Tricking people out of money, deceiving, scamming, hustling, but you want God to bless you. No, it's not going to happen. Now, you may get it the worldly way, and you may obtain it, but it's not going to last. If you wonder why you always getting something and it flies away, think about how you're getting it. Think about what you're doing to get it. Think about what you're doing to maintain it. Because God will not give you something and take away from you. But let me just say this. When you get the blessing that he has blessed you with, and you say, oh, I don't need you now, God, he'll remove his protection. Now it's up to you to hold on to your blessing. Yeah, I can't go on. I can't go on. All right, I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Bye, fam.